So I'm here this morning at SVG's Summit. It's the day before IBC starts, and I'm talking to Paul Calleja from GlobalM. Good morning, Paul.
Hi Jay, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. Paul, what trends are you seeing when it comes to contribution and distribution for live sports?
I think what we're seeing is a lot more IP services being used, because traditionally you'd have a world feed, for example, and you have rights holders connect to that world feed. Where we're seeing a lot more board replacement technology, a lot more ISO cams, more tailored feeds for broadcasters, which means that you need a bigger distribution platform that's more granular. I mean, IP is perfect for that, and GlobalM is ideal for that kind of job, to be able to distribute different types of contribution feeds and distribution feeds for the broadcasters, depending on which one they're ordering. Mm-hmm. So if you're a Japanese broadcaster and you have an ISO cam of a Japanese player and that's all you're interested in, well, you can have that delivered in 25, 35, 45 megabits per second. Better quality than you'd normally have on satellite, but it's exactly the feed that you want. So we're seeing more personalization, if you want to see, say, in that area.
Do you find that that's been demanded or requested from individual, but do the requests come, say, differently by sport or by country or culture?
By sport.
By sport.
By sport, definitely. Some sports will still have your standard world feed, mm-hmm. for example, because they have a limited number of rights holders, maybe in the tier 2 area. The tier 1s are getting into different markets, being able to do like board replacement. Why would you use satellite for board replacement for when you maybe have 3 or 4 rights holders that are picking up the Arabic feed, mm-hmm. or the Chinese feed or whatever? There's no need to put that on satellite, because satellite's great when you've got lots of rights holders, mm-hmm. but when you don't have that many, then it becomes very costly.
Mm-hmm. And how is GlobalM supporting federations, broadcasters, and those rights holders? Would it be right to say your approach is more flexible, mm-hmm. scalable, mm-hmm. and that's then contributing to how they're able to develop their business models? Exactly,
and reach as well. You can deliver streams as close as possible to the rights holder and then use an IP backbone to accelerate and secure that, which means that we're getting that private network type of 5.9 service level, but we're using internet technologies instead and cloud technologies. I mean, this year we're showing a couple of really interesting demos at our stand at IBC. One of them is multi-cloud. We have AWS, Oracle, OpenStack running on a local data center provider in Geneva, mm-hmm. And Alibaba Cloud. We have 4 different clouds running in one interface. For the user, it makes no difference to where this is, but if I'm delivering content into China, I can use the Alibaba leg of that setup and know that I'm delivering that correctly to the Chinese rights holders. That's really important for a federation, mm-hmm. to know that they can get inside these areas securely and comfortably and not have to worry about the chances of something going wrong.
Are you able to share with us any specific examples for projects that you've worked on recently?
Mm-hmm. Well, we work for the World Curling Federation,
right,
and we have that coming up next season as well. Mm-hmm. All of the events, so the previous World Championships, men's and women's, and that was done by us. We also have a number.
How would that typically evolve for you as a project? Can you just give us a sense of what that means when you say you're working with the
mm-hmm.
Like the World Hurling Championship? What does that mean?
Well,
at a practical level,
they have a dispatch on site. Mm-hmm. They have internet connectivity that they've ordered. It's a combination of different connectivities. It could be with SIM bonding, which we support in our network with the Gero. Then they would have the video encoders using our platform. They're generating the synopsises for their rights holders, mm-hmm. and distributing them, and the orchestration of that is then setting up based on that scheduled information for World Curling, and then distributing the content depending on which lane has been ordered by which broadcaster.
Okay. And a final question, Paul. Can you tell us GlobalM? Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about the company. For if you're not aware of it, you've heard of it. Mm-hmm. Tell us about it.
Well, we're based in Geneva, in Switzerland. We're coming out of the contribution and distribution market. for our technologies. Most of us in the company have worked for the incumbent Geneva-based, I'm not going to mention them, okay? And so we spun out of that and developed GlobalM as a solution that we saw 7 years ago, nearly probably 8 years ago now, developing where the trends were heading in this direction of SRT, RIST, open source ARQ protocols, but how do you distribute them and scale them like satellite? And satellite was one of those real interesting technologies that's so mature that it's our go-to in this industry. But we wanted to create that kind of experience, but using IP. Now, these protocols don't scale that well. The more you load them, the less likely they're going to work properly, or So what we did is we developed a technology that allows it to scale and to continue to scale, and we've patented that technology. And on top of that, we've got all kinds of interesting things we can do. We can do tailored versioning per output. So if we've got one rights holder that wants 1080p 5994 in Japan, but we've got another rights holder taking exactly the same content that wants 50i or an I to P conversion, we can tailor each output individually to each customer as well. We can do remuxing, PID remapping, forwarding, a whole bunch of different types of processing we can do on the output of each individual output, the way we've designed this. Mm-hmm. So as we are taking on a lot more federations and sports right now, and what is interesting for them is the problems that they've already experienced with trying to do it without this technology. We're trying to scale it and it's not scaling, or not every video encoder and decoder work well together, so we can use the edge transcode remux options. And these tools that we've built into the system allows for rights holders to be able to tailor the output to their equipment, to the flavor that they're going to be broadcasting it in, and not having to have, we had one customer said they had 8 encoders set up at a venue because each rights holder had a different need. So rather than doing it our way, where we do it on the edge in the cloud, they actually had 8 different encoders set up, which was, you could imagine being a little bit complicated.
So how does the business model operate? Is it a one-off deal, contract, or is it a service model? How does it
It depends. We have a service model, but we also have a hybrid on-prem model as well. We have different hardware appliances that we stock. So if you're a network operator and you want to build out an overlay network on top of existing technologies that you already have, we can provide our technology that sits on top of that. Or you might be a federation who just wants it for a couple of weeks for an event. We have a SaaS-based model as well. So just depending on an on-prem, hybrid, or pure cloud-based model, we can service all three with the same software.
Right, okay. Good. Well, Paul, thank you for your time today. Have a great day here at the summit and have a great IBC. Thanks
very much, Joe. Thank you.